keep your brother. Listen to Genesis 4:9. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel, your brother?" He said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" Let's think about it. Cain knew exactly where his brother was. I mean, that question wasn't for God's information. It was a gift of mercy to Cain. One more moment where confession was still possible. God puts Abel's name and the word brother next to each other right in Cain's face. Where is Abel, your brother? But Cain refuses the door that God opens for him, and he lies. He says, "I don't know." And then he hardens himself with a sentence that's been used ever since to excuse indifference. Am I my brother's keeper? That's what sin does after it spills out. It doesn't just produce violence. It produces a colder heart. It tries to make compassion sound foolish and responsibility sound like it's optional. Cain's basically saying, hey, look, that's not my problem. And the question still echoes today because we face the same kind of temptation. Now, our temptation isn't usually to kill, thank goodness, but what we're tempted to do is detach, to keep our lives clean by keeping people and their issues, at arm's length, to say in 100 polite ways, I don't want to get involved. This is not my place. Someone else will handle this. They'll be fine. I've got my own stuff going on. But God's designed his people to be more personal than that, to be spiritual in community. He calls us into a family, which means we don't just watch one another, we keep one another. Genesis 2, if we go back and remember that, uses the language of work and keep, which means, if you remember, to guard or to protect, to steward what God's entrusted. Sin wrecks the garden, but that calling, it doesn't disappear. We still have it. It just shifts into community. Now, in a broken world, one of the ways that we keep what's holy is by refusing to abandon people in isolation and just allowing them to quietly collapse. Keeping your brother doesn't mean you carry the world on your back. It means you don't play dumb when love is required. It means you don't ignore the warning signs. It means you don't let cynicism turn you into a bystander. Sometimes keeping, it just looks simple, like noticing or checking in, praying for someone, showing up when they need you, listening without trying just to fix everything. And then sometimes it looks harder, like stepping in when something is going wrong or telling the truth in love, refusing to let someone drift into destruction alone. So here's a question for today. When God puts your brother in front of you, what do you do with that? Do you move toward that brother or that sister, or do you move away? Do you protect? Do you excuse yourself, or do you engage? So here's something I want you to do. I want you to think of one person who's been distanced, maybe hurting or maybe overlooked, and just reach out to them today. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Just keep it simple, keep it real. Hey, how you been doing? I've had you on my mind. Now, how are you really? And then listen. And if they open that door, even just a little, don't rush past it. You stay with them. Tell me. I had a friend do that for me just this week. No, tell me, how are you doing? Really? That's what love looks like. And that's the pastor's devotion. Come back and see me tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you this Sunday.